What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Your man Philly Rob is in the building. You know what it is. Another episode of the Waterbreak. We're going to quench your thirst in between a couple episodes we got cooking of Open Gym. You know how it is. My man Gio is out here with me. Gio, what's really good?
What's good, Philly Rob? What's good?
Everything good out there in Chicago?
Everything good. It's hot up here, you know what I'm saying? Summertime, summertime shy. A lot of pollution going on right now. Hopefully, it's not a hotbed for the virus.
Was you out there wilding at Lollapalooza?
No. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. People coughing on you. I don't like large crowds to begin with,
bro.
Because my shoes always get messed up.
You saw the picture? I want none of that smoke. You feel me?
I don't want none of it. I don't want any of it. No.
Yo, let's get on to the topic. You know what I mean? Let's talk about black women. Our black women in the Olympics. What the hell is going on with Simone Biles? Is she fit, not only physically, but mentally? What is going on, Gio? Talk to me.
I feel like there's a lot of racism here in the Olympic Committee. I seen this post the other day about the Olympics not embracing black girl magic. Like, first we're gonna start off with changing the rules for Simone Biles because she's too good. You're gonna handicap her. You're gonna take a rich to her knee and like make her like be normal. What type of shit is that? I wouldn't even showed up if that was her. I was like, you know what, y'all can have your little funky ass gold medal. I'm gonna do me. I just saw the news today that she's coming back for
the balance beam.
Balance beam. But like she said she had the twisties, and I don't like how everybody turned on her for something we end up winning the gold in anyway. America won the gold anyway. It's a lot of fugazi going around, a lot of fugazi patriotism, and a lot of crapping on the black woman, as you could tell.
Yeah, that's really sad. And gymnastics is one of the most dangerous sports in the Olympics, period. I'm dead serious. I mean, when you're up in the air 10 feet doing a McTwist, for lack of a better term, because I'm not really familiar with the names of the moves.
Doopsie.
The Dooksy, the Fruity Tooty, the whatever 360.
Wow.
Wow. And you know what I mean? And it's sad that the IOC is trying to handicap her. And it's sad that the IOC has not pushed a little bit of hasn't been there for her. You know what I mean? And on top of that, from what I've seen and what I've heard, apparently she suffers from ADHD. And in Japan, Ritalin is very hard to get. And, the athlete's been there for over 2, maybe 3 weeks by now. And she probably ran out of the stuff. And she doesn't feel like she can focus, which is insane because you need all the focus in the world to be up in the air, moving your body and knowing how to land. That's very dangerous. You can land on your back, on your neck, mess up a knee. You know what I mean? Mess up your ankle. So it's very dangerous. So I think it's a very real concern. This is not like she's just saying, oh, mental health, I need help. I think it's actually physical what she's going through, especially with, not being able to perform without her medicine. What do you think about that?
They were talking about, she didn't explain why for like 3 days, and I don't think she needed to explain why. But when she did, she was explaining she had twisties, and then you go into what are twisties, and twisties like you flying in the air, you don't know where's the ground, and that's scary to look how high she flies and how many turns she's doing to even land where she did, and she landed and made like a mistake, but if it was me, it would be the most graceful land I could ever do. But she did it, and it was like that was like, oh, B minus or B plus or whatever. And it was like she did that without knowing where the ground was, you know, and that was very dangerous and that's very scary. And I would, you know, I fell off a bike and I was like, fuck bikes for a year. Like when I was a little kid, I was like, I'm not dealing with it again. So I can understand how something like that, but you nailed it on the head when you was talking about the IOC
not supporting her.
Not supporting her. They have a history of it. We can just talk about stuff that happened this year. We have a bunch of cases of them not supporting Black women. I mean, you have the 2 women in Africa who got disqualified from running in the Olympics because their natural testosterone was too high. Beatrice Masalingi and Christine Mumbamba. Apologies if I said that correctly, which I know I certainly did. You have a 2-time 800-meter Olympic gold medalist in Caster Semenya, who was denied entry into the Olympics because of her natural testosterone level, which they said was too high. They wanted her to take drugs to lower her testosterone level, and she did not want to do that. But at the same time, you have Laurel Hubbard, who is a trans woman in the weightlifting competition. Yeah. So it's kind of like,
what is going on here?
Like, yeah, what's going on here? You have the Gwen Berry story where she's a hammer thrower in 2019 Pan American Games. She won the gold medal. She put her fist up. This is right around Black Lives Matter is hyping up and for systemic racism. The Olympic Committee banned her for 12 months. She lost $50,000 in sponsorship. And in the Olympic Games, they tried to bait her by playing the Star Spangled Banner, which has a racist history, while she was on the podium. And she said she felt like it was a setup. And they told her, no, it was always planned to play, but it was planned to play at 5:20, and they waited an extra 5 minutes until she got on the podium till they played it. And then stuff like that, left and right, is just disrespectful to Black women showing. And I know you was talking about the swim team.
Correct? Yeah, the swim team with the soul caps. You know what I mean? With Black, we all know how Black women feel about their hair. This is not a performance enhancer by any means. So I really, you know, it's just a cap. It's just a cap. It's not like those insane swimsuits that they were wearing in Sydney. This is just a cap. This is not going to give anybody any advantage. It's just keeping the hair where it needs to be. You know what I mean? So they can actually swim, and it would just create the same amount of drag as a regular cap. You know what I mean? I can't believe the IOC actually banned that.
I remember we talked about this earlier. Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, Sha'Carri, yeah, Sha'Carri.
Got no support from the Team USA, and they're handling the situation for a drug, which they said was a masking drug. But at the end of the day, like, if you smoking and you beating people, then you work through
more respect to you.
More respect. Like, you had I don't want to do anything after I smoke. You can't tell us for 80 years that if you smoke, you're gonna be that girl on the couch in that commercial who was stuck to the couch, and then tell us at the same time like you got an advantage because you were running high. Like, that doesn't equate. You know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, weed is legal in maybe like half of Europe, so I don't want to hear that from the IOC that, you know, she's not qualified to run in the Olympics. Now, can we talk a little bit about Raven and the act she did in the podium? You know what I mean? Yeah. Talking about the struggle. You know what I mean? I don't think that was a political statement, even though she's being, you know, investigated right now by the IOC and IAFF right now. I think it's dumb. She's just talking about the struggle. She represents the LGBTQ community. You know what I mean? What's your opinion on that, man?
Like, again, it feels like an attack on Black women. I mean, like, She put the X up. They asked her why. She said it's the intersection of where all people are oppressed meet.
Yep.
I don't see anything wrong with that. That's not even define your country or anything like that. No, it reminds me of football when they didn't want athletes to celebrate. Like, you're gonna find somebody thousands of dollars because they pulled out a cell phone from their pants. Like, what harm did that do anybody? Anybody? But it's going to be talked about and vilified as the worst thing possible to ever happen, when in actuality, he pulled a cell phone out of his pants.
And not only that, this is her moment. She worked for that. She earned that. She's in the podium representing the country. I think she should have a minute or a second just to like express herself. You know what I mean? Because she worked harder than most athletes in the U.S. squad to make the podium. You know what I mean? So I think we should reward athletes and just give them a second. Give them a second to see what they have to say, because everybody is all about the performance. They got to perform. But at the end of the day, they're human beings. So I believe in that they should have a second or a moment in the podium where they can just express themselves. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see any political connection to that either.
And the crazy part is, every time I see something about the Olympics, it has a black woman on it. They're marking the heck out of black women to watch this, but they're not treating them fairly. Like, the fact that like those swimming caps were banned and majority of the world's population has kinky hair, curly hair.
Yes. It's crazy.
And these caps were designed to protect that hair. It's crazy.
It took them almost 2 Olympics to get rid of that swimsuit a lot of swimmers were wearing back in Sydney. It took them almost 2 Olympics, but a soul cap made for black women with curly hair and with black hair, automatic no. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I want to know more about it. I want to know the guy in charge of the IOC, like what is he going to do for the next Olympics, regarding, the treatment of black athletes in general.
We definitely have to see. It's been a poor sighting this year. 3 more years to the next one.
3 more years. If we have them, because that Delta variant is taking over. You feel me?
They got a gamma variant now or something like that. Going all through the Greek alphabet.
Yo, my man, you know how it is. Great chatting with you. This is the end of the episode. You can check us out on YouTube, Narrative Control Productions. You know what I mean? You can check us out in the BOW, Chicago Sports Network. You figure me, my name is Philly Rob. Gio, you got something to say for the folks out there?
Follow the Facebook page at Open Gym Sports and Culture. You can catch us on Twitter at OG Sports Culture, as well as Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram is Robbie_Rams. My Twitter is Rob Rams. You already know what it is. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. This is Waterbreak.